think of the cons and what about that is attractive to me. And while that sounds like the cons would not be attractive, there is something about that that is attractive to you because you would not be going towards it otherwise. You would not be spending your time and energy, which is very valuable. Hello, loves. Welcome or welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today, I want to talk about just the subconscious mind and how our patterns are feeding the needs of our subconscious mind. I was thinking about just some of the things that I allow in my life and why I do it. One thing that I've came to the realization of is that a lot of the things we do, especially when it comes to that impulsive purchase, impulsive decision, procrastination, things that we just keep finding ourselves doing that we don't desire in the conscious mind, it's because it is feeling a need in our subconscious mind. And it makes so much sense why some people, including myself, will hold on to a person or a thing that is no longer serving them, keep it in their life, even though we know we want better, or we know we want different. And I'm just going to break down how I've been navigating through it. I see this a lot in relationships and addictions. We want to stop doing this thing, or we want something better, but we're not realizing that it's coming from a deeper thing within. And we don't realize that in order to change something or change a circumstance, we have to look within and figure out what exactly it is that we are gaining from this experience. I think that's why peace can feel very boring, and while we all want it, we find ourselves choosing chaos, and it's because we're feeling a need inside, an idea of ourself, an idea of the way the world is supposed to work. For example, in relationships, someone might stay with a narcissist for a lot longer than they truly want to, a lot longer than their soul is telling them to, because the narcissist affirms a part of their subconscious mind. And the narcissist might tell you you're less than and unworthy. And because you believe that, you need to show your subconscious mind proof of it. Or it could be as simple as you're in a relationship with someone that's really clingy and you don't like it, but at the same time, you are craving the clinginess because you want attention and you feel like you don't get enough attention. And while that might seem like a little confusing, it kind of is because it's your conscious mind and your subconscious mind kind of battling. And I find that when I'm having an internal battle with myself, it is usually the ego, my shadow self, trying to cling on to something that no longer serves me. Considering that what we are acting on can either be fear based or desire based, it's important that we reflect and take the time to think about our actions and think about the why. Why are we doing this? And be really truthful with yourself. Why are we doing this? And this can, again, show up in career, relationships, family relationships, personal self talk. There's always a reason for something. For example, in career, you might not want to do a 9 to 5 all week long, but having that structure makes you feel more put together in life. And it could be stemming from the fear that if you don't have a job, you're going to then not have any structure. And that can be scary and you might be running from it. And that's just an example. But the point is that when you reflect and think about why you're doing the things you do, you then become more aware of whether this is fear based or desire based. Am I moving in a place of fear or am I moving in a place of love? And a lot of times we are really just serving our shadows and our inner childs. And this is not to say that we should ignore those things because those things are our best friends. A lot of the times, for most of us, our inner child and our shadow self needs healing. It needs time and space and to step out of comfort, but to also be loved and nurtured. For a lot of us, we didn't get that. And that's how a lot of our ideas of ourselves in the world arise. And I also say this so that we stop judging people for their actions. Because at the end of the day, we all have something within us ourselves that feel the need that we deserve this or we need this. So when you see people going back to the same person that cheated on them 3 times, or when you see an addict that just can't stop using, it's really because they have an underlying need. They feel they need this. They feel they're not worthy enough. And I feel like we just need to send more compassion to these people and to ourselves because we all deal with some spectrum of addiction, some spectrum of settling. When we have more compassion for ourselves and the ways that we show up, not being mean to ourselves for what has happened in the past or what we keep allowing to happen, we have more compassion for everyone else. And through me realizing that everything that we do is to serve a purpose, it's up to us to look deeper within and take the layers off and figure out what purpose it really is, and is it really the truth? Because a lot of the times when we procrastinate or we scroll on social media for too long or we make an impulsive purchase, it's because we are feeling a lack. We're either feeling fear or we're feeling a lack. It's usually because of something that someone else has taught us, or the young children out of us that never got to see or feel the love that that we have inside of us. A lot of the times, no one told us that we were great and that we are love and we're beautiful. And as children, these are things we need to hear. These are things that would help set the foundation for us. And for a lot of us, we didn't get that, and that's okay. And we can dwell on that, or we can hold ourselves with so much compassion and so much love and honor ourselves. When we start to value ourselves the way we want to be valued, we can then honor ourselves in a way that we never have before. Instead of obsessing over something or someone else, going back into addiction, feeling like you have to constantly waste time, binge eating, binge watching, all of these things again are serving a purpose. And once we hold enough compassion for ourselves, we realize that this is not what we want. We actually can have more for ourselves. We actually can work up to something. We can do more, experience more. We don't have to sit in this box and do nothing. And we also don't have to keep ourselves busy to ignore the problems that lie within. It's hard, but it's definitely worth it. Once you really dive deep within yourself, you watch your world transform because you are now more aware of who you are and how you came about and what you're working towards to be. It's really important to be mindful of others, mindful of your own actions and your own thoughts, and really just taking the time. And through shadow work, for me personally, I've been doing it through shadow work and just realizing, well, what is it that I truly gained from this experience? There's pros and cons to everything, and I think it's just really important to think of the cons and what about that is attractive to me. And while that sounds like the cons would not be attractive, there is something about that that is attractive to you because you would not be going towards it otherwise. You would not be spending your time and energy, which is very valuable. Your time and energy is very valuable. We believe to some extent that we deserve what we show ourselves. So, and the way our mind works, it solves problems. So if we feel like we have a problem, it's going to find a solution. So if there's parts of ourselves that feels unfulfilled or feels lack, we are going to find solutions for them, whether it's smoking, whether it's binge eating, whether it's scrolling through social media for hours, whether it's binge watching a show for the entire day and barely eating. We're going to find ways to fulfill these needs. What we realize is that our shadow selves and our inner child are just doing the best they can with the information that they've gotten over the years. Because we're all still learning, sometimes those thoughts and images of ourselves can be wrong, and that's okay. So, really, I just encourage you to be more mindful and reflect on your actions. Shadow work is a great way to do that. It's really just asking yourself uncomfortable questions to really deepen your understanding of yourself and why you do the things that you do. We're also learning, and what you'll notice throughout this journey is that you'll think you'll get really deep, and then there's still more to come. There's still more to learn and grow from, and that's really the beauty in it. And while that sounds like a cycle of just never fully understanding, it can also be very enlightening because you get to a deeper level of yourself and you realize I can keep going deeper. So while it does take courage, we all have it. We all have the ability to change and shift our realities, and it really does just start within. So yeah, I encourage you guys to get curious about yourselves and want to learn more about yourselves. And I really try to do it in a way as if I was meeting a new lover. When you meet someone you really, really like, and you're really just starting to get to know them, you generally want to know more about them. You want to know the dark sides, you want to know the good sides, and you want to know how they work. And I think that's important to do the same thing for yourself. We all are one, we are the collective. We share a lot of the same experiences in different ways, and a lot of them kind of show us the same lessons in different ways. So, yeah, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoy this video, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye.